lot of people may have the question, how do I know when I'm in the right work? How do I know if I found the right job for me? How do I know if I'm working with soul? Well, there are some excellent criteria for answering this question. The psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent a lot of time observing people who were masters at what they do. Really, really good in a variety of fields. And he noticed that they all hit a state that he called flow. Flow is a beautiful place to be because flow is the sweet spot that balances mastery and challenge. It's a continuum. In other words, if things are too easy, you kind of slide down into this despondent, kind of boring place. You sag, your energy lags. If things are way too difficult, you become overwhelmed, frantic, frightened, and you just back off. But there's that sweet spot right in the middle where you're constantly being challenged and you've got just enough to meet the challenge and go a little bit higher. Meet the challenge and go a little bit higher. That's flow. He said when athletes, artists, musicians, mathematicians, scientists are in flow, they can work for hours or days and they don't even notice the time passing because there is no separation anymore between them and the action or the behavior. They are in it and it is animating them. To be in flow is one of the most beautiful and fulfilling sensations available to human beings. You can see that if you watch peak athletes or artists, theater people in performance. I mean, they are blissing out. Now, the interesting thing is, it doesn't mean that it's easy. It's obviously arduous to be an Olympic skater or an Olympic skier or gymnast. It's incredibly arduous, and yet, even in the midst of their pain, they are joyful. Now, isn't that really what all of us are hungry for? To be able to be in a place that's always exciting, that's always calling on everything we've got and urging us to become just a little bit more. The mythologist Joseph Campbell, the fellow who coined the phrase, follow your bliss, the author whose books George Lucas read in order to draft his screenplays for Star Wars, that Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss, which is very similar to Mihaly's idea of flow. But I want you to note that there's something important there because there was pushback when Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. It's like, oh, that's so new agey. That's a privileged place to be able to follow your bliss. And Joseph Campbell at one point had to say, what I should have said was, follow your blisters. He said, because bliss is not pleasure. Bliss is not even happiness. Bliss is doing what you know you were meant to do and that you would do even if you weren't being paid, even if nobody ever applauded you. You're doing it because it is the thing you have to do. It's the push from inside of you, the yearning of your soul for self-expression. So that's the same thing as what flow is, right? It's you operating at the cutting edge of your capabilities. And you're willing to do it for so long and so hard, you don't care that you're getting blisters because you're in your bliss and it is a sweet spot. Now, is this too much to ask when we go to work? I don't think so. Think of the enormous productivity, creativity, innovation that is possible if we free Americans to follow their bliss and get into flow in the work they do. And the amazing thing is that the sheer variety of human beings means that flow and bliss is different for each one of us. We're going to be meeting the needs of humanity. It's how we're created as a social species. We're always looking for where the need is in our fellow creatures. and finding out if we are the one to meet that need. We love to fill in the missing pieces. There's a joy in that, being at the right place at the right time. Our mythologies, our fairy tales are full of stories. To be the hero is to be in the right place at the right time and step up to do the right thing. So I urge you, don't abandon that hope of following your bliss, of finding your flow at work. I believe this is one of our rights. I believe this is one of the true things we can hope for and look forward to in this American dream.